10,000 has by far the best workout gear for your money. Or do they? In just a second, we'll dive into how the 10,000 interval pant stacks up to your workouts and whether or not it's suitable for everyday wear and worth your hard-earned money. Let's go. What's going on YouTube? We're back with yet another 10,000 product review. I've been dying to get my hands on these new interval pants for the better half of a year, and if you haven't heard of 10,000, you might be living under a rock. They're one of the newest fitness apparel companies focused on the functional aspect of shorts, shirts, and pants. And quite frankly, all I know is that I've gotten a ton of utility out of their foundation shorts. So I'm super stoked to talk to you today about the interval pants and what my experiences have been to date. Now, just before we get into this video any further, please know that I'm not a sponsored athlete by 10,000 or an affiliate with them in any particular way. I'm just a newbie YouTuber wanting to share my experiences because over the last year, I've honestly become a super fanatic of their apparel and hope to shed some light into their products. So for those of you looking to spend some of your hard-earned cash to level up your fitness style, we'll take a deeper dive into seeing firsthand how these products and features have worked for me and how it may give you the gains that you've been looking for. All right, so I purchased their foundation shorts last year and have two pairs of the foundations, one in a stone blue and one in a maroon. And both have really served me well and continue to hold up to everyday activities. You talk about home renovations, barbell workouts, high intensity cardio, and lounging. And the foundation shorts are similarly made to board shorts, and while I have, yes, gone swimming with them, I probably wouldn't 100% recommend you to do that as well. So what I am interested in hearing though is your comments to see what your favorite 10,000 product is. Please let me know in the comments below. All right, so previous first impression videos related to 10,000 have really touched on price, fit, and functionality, in really hopes of giving you guys a holistic approach to experiencing the product through your screen and give you a good idea of what you would get for your money. I'm changing it up this time. When you typically purchase a 10,000 product, 10,000 will usually send out a follow-up email as soon as the product is shipped, and it's really asking for a review. Now, keep in mind that this is a way for 10,000 to measure their product performance, and while it is great marketing, I find this template to be very interesting. So today we're going to go ahead and use their survey as a template for how we measure this experience. There's going to be some overlap in how I had presented my first impressions videos as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 10,000 email survey. All right, so the email covers a couple different areas: fit, quality, activity, and price. So for fit, they provide three different options: runs small, true to size, runs large. All right, so based on my few weeks with the interval pants, I'd say they run true to size. Now, if this is the first time you're on my channel, I'm 5'8", 158 pounds with a 30 to 31 inch waist. Now, I've worn these interval pants throughout the days, from going grocery shopping to going on runs, doing some modified workouts, as well as lounging. And because of quarantine, I got to make do with what I got, and I unfortunately was late to the party when everyone had stocked up on dumbbells. So I've got this joint compound, which for those of you who may be interested is 60 pounds each. And I've got my 40-pound weight vest along with a 20-pound dumbbell. So I use these to get my workouts in. And first off, these interval pants fit extremely well. I can't emphasize that enough. From the waist to my ankles, these things are super mint. So starting from the top of the waist, you're greeted by a very comfortable waistband that just really hugs your hips without pinching or bunching up. Now, you've also got a pretty slick dual cord drawstring that can also be managed inside or outside, which I think this is a pretty cool feature because for some of you, that may be very hypersensitive to how your outer appearance looks and things being more streamlined, this is a great way for you to be able to hide your drawstring on the inside and not have to worry about things dangling on the outside. All right, so the interval pants are also made up of a 4-way stretch. This means super flexibility. The pants definitely offer you the extra mobility and room needed to perform activities outside of your normal day-to-day lounging. So when you think about squatting, overhead pressing, snatching, and so forth, these pants are definitely going to surprise you. I didn't have any issues with the pants snagging or tightening up during my squat session, and it's as if the pants really just freely flowed, allowing my legs to properly move and perform my movement without me having to be concerned. Now, this is huge because I know that there are many of you who have purchased a pair of shorts or joggers and so forth that have gone to the gym to later find out that it's restricting them in certain areas, preventing them from executing certain movements. So, something to consider as you make your purchase decision. All right, let's get into quality. So you've got a few options here, and I know this answer will vary because everyone's got their own view on quality. It's very subjective, and while I personally think that the quality is very good, it's almost too good. I say this more so in the sense that I'm not quite sure that I'd really want to use these for everyday workouts due to the fact that I definitely don't want to damage these. The texture of the interval pants is slightly different than that of the foundation shorts, because when you get a hold of the foundation short, you immediately get a sense of utility. With these interval pants, you almost feel like $1,000,000 when you put these on. They've got a super silky smooth texture on the outside, and the thickness of the material is just perfect. They just feel super durable, right? And if I had to get access to a barbell workout in, I would definitely do it to try and get the experience in. But honestly, from a day-to-day perspective, I'm not quite sure that I would really thrash a barbell against these day in and day out. But that's just me. So I mentioned earlier that I had used these on a run, and I rarely run in pants, so using these for my workout definitely was interesting. But for those of you who are accustomed to this might be some helpful information. My biggest concern was the buildup of sweat, not just on the pants on the inside, but also having my phone exposed to my sweat since I carried it with me throughout my run in order to listen to my music. Now, the pockets have a mesh to help evacuate some of the moisture, but long story short, I was running during high 70-degree temperature weather, which I think for most folks might be very comfortable, but when you're on a run, I definitely was sweating a bit. But the thing was that I was super impressed with how well the pockets as well as the material breathed, as well as kept the moisture down to a minimum. But it is something to note that when you are running or doing some type of cardio activity with your electronic device, there's definitely going to be some moisture buildup in your pockets, and that was something that I had experienced while taking a look at my phone. All right, let's take a look at activity. So they're pretty much hitting every activity that I can think of, and out of these options, I've tested against 3 out of the 7. Running, high intensity workouts, and strength or CrossFit training. I also think that these pants would make well for hiking. Now, in terms of running or any type of outdoor activities not involving weights, I think with the recent rains here during my run on the trails, they've been quite wet and muddy, and I think that these pants have really done a great job of protecting myself against the elements. Again though, one thing I would emphasize is if you decide to perform any of these workouts, just be mindful of where you place your electronics in your pockets. Now, the pockets are made of a mesh lining and are meant to really help release the moisture buildup, so having your phone in your pocket for an extended period of time, depending on how much you might sweat, just might cause some phone issues. All right, so last but not least, price. Overall, the 10,000 interval pants come in at $98. You tack on a few extra dollars for shipping and tax, you're over $100. But compare those to the Lululemon Surge joggers or maybe even the Roam commuter joggers, and you're still paying at least $30 under. And while I still think it's a pretty hefty price tag, I think the quality and the utility of the product is still there to give you the value that you're looking for. At the end of the day, if you're trying to save a few dollars during this time of craziness, I'd say hold on to your cash. But if you do have an itch to spend an extra $100, wanting to gift yourself some pretty cool joggers, I would 100% recommend them to anyone. These have been extremely comfortable to work out in, lounge in, and use as everyday pants. Well, that does it for today's 10,000 interval pant review. If you're considering their foundation shorts, check out the YouTube card on that up here. And again, guys, thank you for checking out this video. And hopefully you guys got some value out of this to help with your purchasing decisions. Thus far, 10,000 has delivered on all counts, from customer service to their workout apparel. And honestly, guys, I'm super confident that you guys will enjoy these if you decide to pick one up. And as always, join me on this channel for more videos across fitness-related product reviews and workouts. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. And also, honestly, I want to hear you guys' comments and see what were your 10,000 favorite products. So until next time, peace.